Kaylee, what is our first main topic today?
John, our first main topic comes from Amin. I think most of us can agree that in terms of quality, Marvel has been a bit of hit and miss recently. On the other hand, DC has been putting out a few great projects in a row. When comparing the last 4 to 5 films from both, which studio do you think has put out better films? As much as I loved films like Shang-Chi, No Way Home, I think maybe DC has been doing a better job recently. What are your thoughts?
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in. And you know, it's interesting. We are in an interesting period of time right now because we have seen DC lately come out with some big wins. And I think all of us have been a little bit guilty of letting it fly under the radar that they have been putting together a string of some pretty good stuff. We've talked a lot about the struggles of phase 4 of Marvel, which has still been quite good, but it has struggled to live up to the same overall quality level, I think, of phases 1, 2, or 3. So it's kind of worth bringing up the question, Amin. Okay, well, right now, what have you done for me lately? Who's kind of firing on all cylinders better right now? I mean, obviously, in the long term, who has done it better overall? It doesn't matter if you're a fan of Marvel or DC. Everybody will acknowledge Marvel's done it better so far. They've had a far more success. They've been a lot more crowd-pleasing. The box office, the critic, all that kind of stuff overall. But how's it been lately? Because when you look at things like The Joker, which kind of was a couple of years ago, but still The Joker, you look at the Batman that they just did with Matt Reeves, you look at Peacemaker, which is like one of the #1 shows in the world and all that kind of stuff. And even though it ain't winning any Oscars, you know, Black Adam was a fun time at the movies. On top of that, Suicide Squad, which did terrible at the box office, but I think that's the second best movie the DCU ever put out. When you look at that, they don't have a lot of what I would call glaring losses on their resume over their last couple of films or television projects, if you were. By contrast, if you look at Marvel right now, yeah, crushed it and knocked it out of the park with Shang-Chi, with WandaVision, with Ms. Marvel, with Spider-Man No Way Home. At the same time, they've had some iffy outings. Let's call them iffy. Black Widow, Hawkeye, Thor Love and Thunder, I don't know, a couple of others, right? Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Some people loved it, but for a lot of people it was pretty iffy, right? So you've had this inconsistency. I'm going to say something that might sound a little weird. I'm going to say under the who did it better lately, I'm going to say DC. Look, Marvel's also put out a whole ton more projects than DC has in the most recent memory. But if you want to take all their projects, both DC and Marvel over the last just couple of years, and say who had the better average, I'd say the average quality level of the DC projects, Peacemaker, the Batman, Joker, Suicide Squad, I'm going to say, and Black Adam included, I'm going to say the average has been higher than the average of Marvel, which has some incredible wins, but some pretty big losses as well. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that I would put my money on DC over Marvel right now. I'm not saying that at all. But if you're going to ask in recency bias, who's been doing a little bit better? I'm actually going to say right now, I think DC's been doing a little bit better recently. Anyway, Rob, it's an interesting question, but how would you evaluate this?
Guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month. And now for the plot twist. I'm just kidding. There isn't one. Mint Mobile just has premium wireless from $15 a month. There's no trapping you into a 2-year contract or opening the bill to find all these crazy fees. There's no luring you in with free subscriptions to streaming services that you'll forget to cancel and be charged full price for. With my old wireless provider, every month when I opened the bill, it was like playing roulette. I never knew how big the bill was going to be, and it always seemed to get bigger. With Mint Mobile, it's totally different. I know exactly how little I'm paying every month, and there's never any surprises. Mint Mobile gives you the best rate whether you're buying for one or a family. And at Mint Mobile, families start at just 2 lines. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. And guys, you get to use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number number along with all your existing contacts, so transferring over couldn't be easier. So to get premium wireless from just 15 bucks a month and no unexpected plot twists, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. You'll make your wallet very happy at mintmobile.com/Campea.
Well, I think that one of the things that Marvel has set itself up for is the cinematic universe that all their films take place in. I think that's been their biggest hindrance. Because, for instance, I enjoyed Eternals.
I quite enjoyed Eternals too. Yeah.
I don't think it was a good MCU movie because it didn't do enough to add to the tapestry. I have too many questions when that movie was over about their wider universe. Now, Marvel did this to themselves. They have an obligation to continue on their cinematic universe. And I thought, for the most part, the Infinity Saga did a pretty good job. Now, I really like Shang-Chi. Inconsequential, really, when it came to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, except maybe, okay, the 10 rings, what does this mean? Where did they come from? We don't. Okay, that's a little bit of a, but the rest of that movie had really nothing to do with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It introduced a character up until the very end. You know, maybe you saw Wong the Abomination, but for the most part, tapestry didn't matter. And I feel that way about most of the Phase 4 movies. I've missed the cohesion of the MCU, but the movies I've enjoyed, you know, not as much Doctor Strange and
Thor: Love
and Thunder I didn't like very much at all.
What about Black Widow? What do you think about Black Widow?
I like Black Widow, but it's mid-tier. Again, it was more, I like spy thrillers. I mean, that movie, inconsequential when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. None of it really mattered.
You can say the same thing about all the DC projects.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, I've never, the DC universe, a non-starter for me. Really didn't have one. All of my favorite DC movies, you could say Man of Steel and Batman, they're supposed to be but they could, Batman and Superman could be the only heroes. And then they had Justice League, they introduced Wonder Woman. I still don't think of the DCEU as a cinematic universe. Aquaman, okay, Jason Momoa was introduced in Batman v Superman and was in Justice League. Don't care. Aquaman, the first Aquaman movie with the kingdoms of under, that had nothing to do with the rest of the DCEU. But it worked. I loved Aquaman. If they never brought the bigger DCEU in and James Wan makes his Aquaman trilogy, great. That's all I care about. It doesn't have to link to anything. The Batman, unto itself, like the Nolan Batman trilogy, Joker, doesn't matter. So to me, DC should abandon the idea of their universe entirely. Now, you can have people cross over as you want, but you know what? If Shazam and Black Adam cross over and Superman's in those movies, do I then expect to see Aquaman and Wonder? Don't care. I don't think you can mix and match.
At some point, you're going to tell me which one you think is doing better right now, right?
Oh, I think DC has been providing me with a more entertaining time. The Batman was
really.
I think the Batman is the best of all the superhero movies that have come out in the last 2 years.
Batman,
We got the
you proud of that one?
But the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I've loved the cinematic universe of it all. I think that's where they've been falling down because they haven't tied all their stuff together.
Well, I mean, but can you call that a criticism when DC isn't tying their stuff together either?
But I don't expect.
So you can't say
no. I don't expect them to. The DC. That's why I say the DC universe has been a non-starter. Zack Snyder was doing his thing. He's done his Justice League Superman trilogy. The Batman was not part of anything. Joker wasn't part of anything. The Aquaman movie that James Gunn made was so different from Zack Snyder's world to not. I don't care. I just don't care. Black Adam, unto itself. I know we're going to have Shazam and Superman, all that. Don't care.
All right, Chris, what about you? When we're talking about recency bias, but who do you think lately has been doing it better?
I mean, I'm still Make Mine Marvel, and you all can say I'm a Marvel shill, and I don't care. I like it. I thought that Ms. Marvel was phenomenal. I thought She-Hulk was fun. I had more fun than you guys, admittedly. I enjoyed that one. You know, I thought Werewolf by Night was incredible. I thought that
Werewolf by Night was pretty good.
I thought it was so good. Werewolf, Moon Knight was great till the end, which we had a fumble there, and I hope we picked that up. You know, I think there's a lot within Marvel that I've really enjoyed. Shang-Chi, I thought, was one of the best films we've gotten out of the Marvel franchise in general. Doctor Strange was fun. I wasn't in love with it, but it was fun. Thor really disappointed me. But on the whole, I've enjoyed Marvel more. Now, DC has done some fun stuff, and sure, we get into a quantity issue again where Marvel's had so many projects that, sure, there are some flops in there for me. But DC, has had more things that I haven't really gelled with overall. Now they are crushing TV recently. Freaking love Doom Patrol. Freaking love
Doom Patrol.
You know,
Yeah.
Peacemaker. I thought that was excellent. The Batman was great. Wanted to just tighten up that edit a little bit and that'd be perfect. But I think Marvel overall really has my heart.
I still think that the best overall recent movie out of all Marvel and DC is still Shang-Chi. That's one for me. Right behind that would probably be the Batman. I love the Batman. All due respect, Matt. I think Batman is still my number 2 favorite movie of the year this year so far. But I don't know, guys. Question is for you. Whichever camp you generally think you're on, like, what do you honestly try to think might be been doing it better lately overall? I don't know. Whatever you guys think, jump down in the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.